Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode number 109 of the Terminus podcast for the weeks of November 3rd, 2018. We just missed it. TJ isn't with us anyway. As a matter of fact, with us we have our fireman Chris Homan and our engineers Jacob Durbin and Nick Christensen. I am your dispatcher, Ellis, otherwise known as Trainman, and our brakeman this week is Nick Wakefield, or O'Gillies, returning
Hi.
for
the 1,000th time.
Returning for the 1,000th time. We're really getting tired of you. You know that.
I mean, it's been at least 6 months
enough.
since I was last on.
We'll throw you off the back of the train.
Yeah, it's standard procedure. Anyway, before Milky gets
That
back,
way he doesn't get sucked down under the wheels.
yeah, before Milky gets back, the train will terminate at this station.
Well, we're near Mermislag.
No, we're near Nerdish now.
Whatever name is currently on the screen, folks, because I cannot see. And we are currently watching Captain Hentai Watch.
No, this is not Captain Hentai. Stocks and Rail Band, he's playing Mashinki. I'm quasi-interested in this game, so I'm going to be paying a little bit of attention to it. Anyway, speaking of paying attention, it seems every engineer has been paying attention, because we have nothing for the Class 1 Mental Responsibility. Canadian National continues to hold the mantle. And,
Yay?
Yay? Yeah, yay? Question mark?
Yay?
Like, you know, I was expecting something, but nothing really came up in terms of, you know, in terms of stuff. So, you know, the only accident-related stuff were, like, investigations of old accidents. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Hard, you know, big fat question mark from me. But we did have a couple of accidents, or near accidents, at the Providence Northern this past, well, today, actually, it would be. Because we had an operating session. We had an operating session which I didn't know about until, like, the day before. And then I was like, oh, Madison, let's go. And then she's like, I gotta do things. But Drew can go. So it was myself and her little brother at the operating session. And we had a blast because there was no dispatcher and things went great.
So, on the note of op sessions and dispatcher, I had an op session. Actually, it was a week ago yesterday.
Was there a dispatcher?
There was a dispatcher, and I was that dispatcher.
Oh, well, that must have really sucked.
Precision.
So, it was a smaller session than the normal because there was something going on or something, and a few people couldn't make it. So there was 11 people at the session as opposed to about the normal 14, 15. And so I was like, well, I haven't dispatched before, so I figured I'd try dispatching. I flipped one switch under one train, and that was my only derailment. And it was an accident.
That to somebody. I did that to somebody during the op session.
Yeah. And other than that, it was pretty well. There's an echo.
Roop. Fix it.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, I'll be back, folks. Continue talking.
Okay.
Anyway, so oh, is it still there?
Still there?
No, just.
Okay.
So much still on.
And so what they use a system where the computer is upstairs and the layout is in the basement. And for the record, if any of you are curious as to what I was dispatching, you could look up on YouTube Salt Lake Southern Model Railroad and you'll get what I was dispatching. But anyway, it was pretty easy. I think the hardest part was, you know, trying to think about how I wanted to really make everything go through. But it was fun. Dispatching is a lot more fun than it seems. So.
Than it seems?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it seems extremely fun. And I'm not being sarcastic. I want to dispatch.
Then why don't you dispatch at your next session?
Because I don't know how to use the computer. for that.
It's not that hard, especially if they use
You're an
the
engineer.
thing.
Learn it.
I know I've got to learn it, but it's like I don't know how to set that up because there's one person who holds the keys of knowledge to that, and he's A, never there, and B, not too keen on giving it away.
I can give it away. I mean, I would assume that it's pretty easy.
No, because he sets it up ahead of time where he matches like all the trains on the layout to designations.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's predetermined.
Predetermined. What do you mean predetermined?
It's hard to explain.
Okay.
But anyway, on the note of
Hard to
another
explain,
op
but
session,
it's perfectly simple.
yeah, it's simple but hard to explain.
Right.
So on the note of another op session, I woke up Saturday morning and was invited the following Saturday to pay a visit to Lee Nicholas's Utah, Colorado, and Western for an op session this coming weekend. I've never been here before. It's like a 40-minute drive. I'm picking up a couple buddies of mine, and we're going to go up there and operate. Now, this is a nice layout. And
Like a nice layout or a nice layout?
a nice layout.
Ah.
And it's apparently a pretty BFD to get invited there, so I'm really excited for that as well. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Also,
cool.
the other reason why I'm not going to dispatch at the Providence Northern is because when we don't have a dispatcher, things go so much better.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
In
Yeah, you don't have
seriousness,
to call dispatch for
Yeah.
every single move.
because we have a working signal system, the dispatch just it's helpful, but it's not that helpful.
Oh, and I'm going to get a strike for this, but I need to say this. I need to cleanse myself.
No,
I
you
play Railworks now, mostly. So
Why would they give you a strike for that? You just suck.
I don't know. I play Railworks now.
Yeah, well,
So
you talk about your amazing things that you've built in Railworks.
Yeah, we can do that. Just before the Terminus, while we were waiting for everyone and their uncle to show up, I took a Great Western Manor class, 460, up
Where's your
around the
British
horseshoe
accent?
curve, through the
I know,
glitch,
where's your
and back again. Why?
I
Because
mean, congratulations, you put trains down on a pre-existing route.
yes,
you can create routes in Railworks.
I know
It's
you
not
can, but it's not.
It's not as difficult as you
And
make it
also
seem.
denser.
no. However,
to do in
compared to the train to the Z, where it's pretty much just put it in forward and go. I have to actually manage the throttle and manage the steam and manage things how it's supposed to be managed.
Make steam.
Yeah,
Yes,
and that
then
would
I'm
be
yelling
nice
at
to that'd be nice to
because it's not
have.
making steam enough.
That'd be nice to have. But
It is. That's why I like
I just
Railworks
want to have
over.
100 trains going and operating automatically. On the
Well,
route that
you
I
know
built.
what doesn't operate automatically?
Most things.
My
And-
trains route.
An unnamed Fremo club that I had a terrible experience with.
Oof.
This Fremo club, for their sake, well, not for their sake, but for my sake, will remain unnamed. But there was a show not that long ago where we went to with a few friends. Now, I had a few friends in this club, and they invited us up to come and go to the show. And now this show was a Fremo meet. It was a Fremo meet about 30, 40 miles away from where I live. And so the entrance price was a whopping $20. So it was $40 for my dad and I.
Was it
So we
worth
paid
it?
the... Yeah, well, they did have a cool clinic there about something. I'm trying not to give too many details away for obvious reasons.
You don't want to
because I
incriminate
wanna,
yourself.
I don't want to incriminate myself, so I'm not giving that much away. But they had a couple cool clinics there. But we go in, and the main attraction there was a Fremo club. Now, this was the same Fremo club that I had friends in and was initially invited to. So, I pay the $20 to get in, and I talk to my friends as they're running their trains around their layout. And so I run, and I'm talking to them, and I'm talking to them. Go to the clinic, leave, show's over. As I'm getting home, I am asked to join the voice chat by one of the friends, and this was after the show had long since been over. It actually had ended about an hour previously. I get a call from a friend of mine who said that they were secretly wishing that I didn't invite them, and that we were being a bad influence on them because we were talking to them while they were running, and
Oh my god.
and generally we were apparently
Oh no,
causing
social interaction.
we were
bullshit.
causing disruption by walking around the layout. By walking around the layout several times and looking at everything, they were causing disruption.
And delay.
And so they tell me that, I get a little pissed off, get off the chat, whatever. About 30 minutes later, I get asked to join again. And so I joined back again. And this time it's, they came back after that, and they basically said that, look, the point of a train show is to come in, look around for a few minutes, and leave. And they said it's like they said you come around, maybe talk to a couple people for a few minutes, buy one thing, and leave. Not sit around there for 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours looking at trains, looking at models, talking to your friends.
No, you sit around for 4 hours buying stuff that you don't need.
Yeah.
I disagree.
And I'd also like to point out that this particular show was in a place that was directly next to a Union Pacific main line.
Oh my god.
So obviously we're going to stay there because it's a rail fan opportunity. But
Foam.
yeah, so they were just generally really, a-holes to us.
Really not good people.
Yeah, not good people, not promoting the hobby at all, because if this was something and I was new to the hobby, I would get out of the hobby before I got too into it if I knew that they were going to be like this. It's just, we called them a quote-unquote good old boys club, and since we have since ceased all communication with that club.
The good old boys club.
I mean, they have 3 whole members in their entire club, so.
Well, I mean,
Oof.
can you understand why?
I understand now that it's going to be painfully obvious who I'm trying to reference, but whatever.
I have no idea.
I don't know either. And if nobody on this podcast knows, then nobody's going to know because nobody watches the podcast. So
the objective, what I'm saying is, if somebody knows the situation, say one of them watches the podcast just out of randomness, which it's not going to happen. They're going to know who I am, but whatever. I mean.
Yeah, they're gonna know you. They're gonna know who you are by your voice, not by you're slandering the club. They're gonna know, hey, it's that kid.
It's that guy who stood around and talked.
Anyway, that's all I have.
All right, well, quit standing around and talking.
Well,
Okay, you can go next.
I gotta get water.
Yep, I've been doing quite a few things in trains. Most recently, I'll get the screenshots here. I've done some weed skinning. We skinned the Smuni Boeing car, which is in one of the screenshots. 3 more K-28s, or no. I redid one skin of K-28, and I added
Holy
2.
crap!
And I also built a creek.
I'm sorry, Milky, but holy crap!
Blah 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 blah. There are some K-28s.
Yep.
Here's a Boeing
With
car.
the giant snow
Creek in
plow.
there too. And
Welcome to Earth.
K-28X US Army.
So does the Boeing car go?
Yeah,
That's very unrealistic.
yeah, I know, right?
Effing trains.
Yeah.
You should have the gauge cluster go haywire.
Yeah.
Wait, Milky, question. Is that Maple Beach birch for the tree splines?
Yeah.
Congratulations, Milky. You've ascended.
But there is a few 3D trees in there. That would
Good.
work.
Milky's enlightened.
Yes. Yeah.
I have to
Yes,
I have to step away for 1 moment. I'll be right back. You guys continue.
Okay.
Okay.
And I've been working on my C16 model. I've been working on for the past while. And Rio Grande had train day on most of their locomotives, on their tanks that have water. It's become a reaction in that group.
Really?
You just have to train day.
Yeah,
Alright.
you got it. If not, then bad things happen if you don't train daily.
Yeah. So now the C16 reflects that. And I've done 2 more variations of it. I've done the Bumblebee, I've done the normal version, and then the 1880s version, which is pretty much the 40s version, but with a diamond stack. In different paint.
Nice.
I'm not the biggest fan of Bumblebee, but I've made that.
And I also did some 6 screenshots for Gmod. As soon as my chat will load, right there.
Blah, blah,
Wait
blah,
for
blah,
it.
blah.
Again.
Submit these for a screenshot contest.
There we go. There we go.
They're heavily edited
Deep
photos.
fried.
Basically, what I did is I took a section of that goes to my map, GM4. I took a little bit of the world, built S-plops over it, and then built a railroad over the world.
As you do.
Yeah.
Tear it up, turn it into rails.
Turn them into railroads.
In the end, it worked out because the map has a whole bunch of trees, and I was going for a northwest feel to the map. It worked out.
Can I have your outpost?
I didn't win the screenshot contest, but it
Alright, well, I guess Jader's gone, so that means
Wait, why is
Oh, wait. No, Jader. Okay,
he's
can
dead.
Dead,
He's
yeah.
gone.
I rose from the grave just in time.
go.
Okay, so I don't have pictures, but pretty soon I will. The Equinix Central Old Town branch is about 4/5 of the way complete. When that's complete, I'll release another alpha for the route.
Yay!
Yeah, and I need to fix some of the automation because let's see, I was doing some testing today. The Davenport switcher somehow derailed and killed itself.
Oh.
I have no idea what happened. It derailed pretty much all the cars. The engines and like 3 or 4 cars ended up on the main line. I have no idea how.
As you do.
Okay, so it wasn't
Yeah.
it cut off the last 2 kind of thing, which is what was happening to me.
That's annoying shit.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
What else?
Here's the sweet solution to that. Interlocking towers. Interlocking towers everywhere.
Teach me how to. I will pay you with food.
Well,
I will pay you.
When I come out there,
I
I'll
will
buy you
accept,
food.
Jader. I accept.
Oh.
Just come here.
Okay.
Next time we
Let's
have
see, yeah, the
we have
dam-
a Sunday driving, I'll spend some time going through interlocking towers because hopefully I won't have to do another one for a little while, but I will sooner or later.
Okay. Anyway, the the Davenport switcher killed itself. The Davenport, the Equinix to Davenport freight got all messed up. And I just need to program it better because it's supposed to come in, cut off like half the train, put it on another track, and then go back to the first cut, pull it forward, cut off from that, and then go park in the engine house.
Mm-hmm.
But it screws it up every time.
What does it do?
It cuts in the wrong place,
Oh,
and it I don't know. I just need to program it better.
all right. Here's the thing, by the way. Here's the thing with interlocking towers that I took too long to learn. Make sure what you can do is you can get a command that will set an interlocking tower path. The AI will set a path for itself instead of pulling up to the tower and having the tower decide, because that invites problems too. If you have the AI choose its path just right off the bat, there will not be problems. And it makes it, in my opinion, a little less fun because it means that you already know how it's going to work every time. But that's a good thing. That's a really good thing.
I'll have to mess with those on a test route.
Yeah, definitely.
Who
And
changed my thing?
I can help if you're around and you're like, hey, you want to walk me through interlocking towers? I'll probably be more than happy to if I have time. Because
Okay.
I will do any excuse to dick around. I will take any excuse. Speaking
All
of
right,
which,
let's see.
I
Yeah,
am
that
trying to get to the swamp, get all my scenery up to the edge of the swamp by Thanksgiving. That was something
You're
that
welcome.
was, that was a goal that was set, and I'm trying to stick to it. I'm doing my best. It's the case of I will do things for like 3/4 of the episode and then start copy pasting because I know once I start doing that, the game will crash. So I did it. I did it this last time, and I'm actually closer than you'd figure. But there's a bunch of patches of area that are not going to be covered in trees, that are going to be covered in like rocks and dirt. And I need to figure out how to make those look, and how to make them look not terrible.
Plants and birds and rocks and things.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, there's that.
Maybe a dude that jumps out at you when you get close to it.
Surprise.
No,
Yeah.
you have a signal bridge that just has Shrek on it. As
Yeah.
you're entering the swamp.
What are you doing?
Yeah, you have a single brick Shrek, and then you have a siding with something called the swamp.
I have too much
He
swamp.
said,
No. Put an onion factory there. Please.
No.
An onion factory? God damn it.
what would an onion factory actually do?
Make onions?
Make onions.
Make funyuns.
Yeah.
Make
Yeah, make
steam.
funyuns.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Well, I don't know, Chris.
what
What
else
would
have
an
I
onion
done?
factory do?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe make, mayonnaise or something. I don't know.
Funyuns.
Mayonnaise, what the hell?
No, funyuns.
Now I'm curious. Where does mayo come from?
Yeah.
No, not literally.
Mayonnaise
Where
comes
does
from
mayo
eggs.
come from? I just looked it up. Where does it come from? And it was like this place in, this place in
The fuck?
mayonnaise is said to be the invention of the French chef of the Duke de Richelieu in 1756. Thanks.
Yeah, and you grinded some fucking onions together.
Surprisingly enough, none of the ingredients in mayonnaise are onions.
Yeah, who knew?
Chef
Wait,
Chris
really?
over here.
Ooh,
I didn't know that.
Did you think that they were?
Well, why the fuck are we talking
No.
about mayonnaise?
I don't know.
We're supposed to be talking about trains.
Alright, well, the trains drop off the mayonnaise.
They
Yeah.
drop them off in the Hocking Hills.
I need to get my photos together before I do
Here
mine.
in the
So
Hollywood Hills.
Hocking Hills. I went up to the Hocking Valley yesterday to, well, it was my unofficial first day volunteering. Turned in my application that morning.
They beat my first day when we had a tree on the overhead wire that we had to remove.
Did it catch on
Oof.
fire?
No.
Oh.
But let's see.
Aw.
We got there. Let's see, yeah. Let's see. Yeah. My friend Isaac, he talked to me about volunteering. I'm like, okay, sure. I want to keep working on the railroad during college. This, other than going home to Worthington, this is the next best thing.
Yar.
And we got there at about 8. We got to the engine house at like 8:30. They already had 3 fired up. They had it. Yeah, they had her going the previous day just to make sure everything was good.
This engine is so weirdly disproportionate.
It's so
It's
I
adorable.
love it.
It's so adorable.
I love it.
It's like, why are you shaped like this? I love the shape of you.
Me too.
and on that note,
They popped. Yeah, they popped off at like 8:30. Yeah, 8:30 on the dot.
Yeah.
Thought it. Yeah. And everything ran flawlessly. They had really good turnout. You couldn't ask for better weather.
Oh, it looks really nice.
Mm-hmm. And I got to ride in the I rode in the open air car on the first trip, and in the caboose on the second trip. That was fun.
Caboose.
Cross that off the bucket list. Right in a caboose.
I got
I
to
know
ride
an
a
open
caboose.
air car.
And I got to get pulled by an alco.
See, they have a Baldwin that makes it better.
Yeah, but this was a diesel alco.
Oh.
Blah, blah, blah,
where?
blah,
Where'd you ride in a caboose behind an Alco?
blah. Steamtown.
Oh, Yeah,
Real fast.
I don't count that as a caboose because you gotta have all the safety chains and all that. No,
I mean, you can add safety chains to something, and that doesn't change what it is. It just becomes a
Yes, it
caboose
does.
with safety chains. No.
caboose
It becomes like 2% safer. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, what? Wrong.
You don't cross a threshold of safety for something to no longer become a caboose. If you take the windows out, then it becomes something else. But
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, had a great time. Lots of foamers.
Jada, that doesn't look
met
like
a lot
you.
of good. Met a lot of good people. No, that's Foamy Jake. He came down to chase both of the trips.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have the picture,
goals.
but what?
That can be you
What?
in 5 years.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe.
Well,
If all goes to plan, then maybe.
yes. Drive
Have
the
goals.
engine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
what was it?
steam.
I learned a lot. Learned a lot. Great day. Everything ran flawlessly.
Awesome.
I would totally do it again.
Woo.
Working.
No, hopefully,
You better start working there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
You're gonna have to do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and you're gonna start going up and down. You're gonna know every single little kink, little bump, every joint,
Come here,
bar,
whipping
and
boy.
every little culvert by memory. Once you start volunteering, man, I swear to God.
I mean, I started figuring that out by like the third trip up to WWF when we were there all day.
Yeah, well, after about your second day, you start picking up on the joint. Oh, you got to hold on here to hold on, and
Yeah.
like
I know my mile of track.
I could run the A&A blindfolded, with the exception of the crossings.
Yeah. Also,
I
they
can do our entire
coming
machine
back into the
blindfolded except for the end of the track where it just kind
was
of...
it? Yeah. When we came back into the station on the first trip, they're coming in just a little bit too hot, and in my head I'm like, okay, are we gonna stop? Are we stopping? He just dumps it.
You try and take a set. Shit, and then
Yeah, he just dumped it, just pow, and I think I heard a couple people like oh man,
Ah.
yeah. It's not as bad. Yeah, well, no, sometimes they dump it up in Worthington, but usually not too bad.
Okay, this is unrelated. I'm gonna start going into my stuff. This is unrelated. Mario Siegel, the inspiration behind Mario, has died at 84.
Oh,
This is just breaking. So, rip in peace, whoever
He's
that
moved
is.
on to the big castle in the sky.
Yeah.
brings us just in another castle there.
So
Okay.
yeah. So that's a rip.
That's a rip. Yeah, alright.
I don't really have any photos of anything that really went on because I haven't really done anything. The only thing I really did was I went to a cool Dracula play on Halloween night.
That has nothing to do with trains.
Was there
No.
a train in it,
Yeah.
Chris?
No.
In Dracula, Milky? I don't think so.
Well, then
No.
I don't know. Fucking Doc Brown could show up out of nowhere.
So it was a nice play. One of these times I actually get on stage with them, I want to start acting.
Oh, hey, me too.
But the cool thing was that there was a girl who came dressed in the audience in full steampunk gear, like full on steampunk gear. Where's my phone? There's my phone. And I'm like, oh my god, I gotta get a picture of you. Sadly,
Net.
pretty sure she's jelly. But like, oh
Alex,
my
remember,
god,
we're not
you're
supposed to be
amazing.
doing that.
Can I share this? Yes, I
Other
can.
than that, I hosted on the A&A. No, I got that last week. That's okay.
Well-
we talked about that last week when I hosted on the A&A last. I went out to the A&A last Sunday. We will talk more news about the Allentown and Auburn Railroad later. Nights. And I will go into depth on that at some point.
Okay.
But I have now been degraded to the person who just comes at the end of train rides to sweep out the cars.
Ooh.
Because, well, I mean, I haven't been degraded. That's just how I end up showing up.
No, you were
Yeah.
downgraded. Feel bad,
No, I
Chris.
just-
got-
I don't
You
have
got the
anything else to
gulag.
do.
Chris, don't die.
That's why we end up showing up, and it kind of sucks. But oh well.
Get gooder.
The only other thing I've done lately was I've been playing Transport Fever, just today, and I've built a giant 2-foot network that goes up like 45-degree angles and loop everything. Because why not?
Yeah.
So that's it.
I've been building a trolley line.
Put a couple videos in the chat from Saturday.
Oh, and speaking of putting things in the chat, not in other things. I don't know.
No November.
Let me find the photo.
Oh, okay.
This was the dispatch board that I was working with. This isn't the full board. I actually took this photo because I gave a train like a super long thing of clearance.
Oh, that's right.
But this is about what the whole thing looked like.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's cool.
There is one other thing that I have been working on. However, I am not privy to talk about it yet. I do not want to talk about it
All
publicly
right,
yet.
I'm glad you brought it up to not talk about it.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up to not talk about it.
Just know to anyone who actually somehow watches this, you don't know why. What are you doing with your life?
And you happen to know Chris.
What are we doing with our lives? We're making the damn thing. that nobody else
enjoying
is.
ourselves?
There will be big news coming somewhat soon to a new media company. There will be a new railroad show coming out on YouTube within a few months.
Dropping hints, like I do.
Dropping hints, yes.
Dropping loads.
So.
I can't say how many times I've hinted at my blogs that I've been working on.
And we never hear about them again.
Yeah.
I want to take on that project at Hockey.
Although our Brussels cars got moved because we finished our 100 feet extra of track on the side of the barn, so we had enough room for 3 more cars on there. So,
Question:
yeah, what?
Do you guys ever make the joke of your Brussels cars calling them Brussels sprouts?
No.
See,
Damn.
even that I don't want a Brussels sprout. That's for sure. But I'm hungry enough that saying that has made me hungry.
No,
I can't go anywhere. I'm doing a podcast.
I will be right back.
Well, you know what else? It can be like your dream, and we can just take over.
Yeah, but I was pissed off in my dream because I was trying to say things and you kept like.
You're
just
pissed
doing
off
things.
because you're hungry.
Well, maybe.
Speaking of things that kind of piss me off,
Okay.
we're gonna get off.
Go
We're gonna get
on.
off this subject.
Go on.
This may have been covered on a previous podcast, but those 2 GP9s that the Heber Valley Railroad ordered rolled into Provo Yard a couple afternoons ago.
Yeah.
And I use that transition. Speaking of things that piss me off, because they spend their money, ordering new diesel locomotives when I have a perfectly good steam locomotive that the money could be put towards and actually get back running again. But instead, they order 2 random GP9s from Pan Am, of all places, and then have to ship them across country on BNSF. That just doesn't make a ton of sense to me.
I know a dozen different locations that they could have them cheaper. I can guarantee it.
Exactly. And I don't understand what they were thinking going to Pan Am, ordering them, shipping them across country when they either could have used the money to fix 618, which has been sitting in the shop since 2010.
Yeah.
Or something. But instead they're choosing to spend the money on 2 random GP9s that have absolutely no ties to Utah whatsoever.
If they have ties to Pan Am, woo, Pan Am.
I mean,
said no one ever.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, well, it's sort of like if you have a GP10, they're only tied to Illinois Central, unless you paint it up in some fantasy scheme, which could or not, which may or may not be happening.
Daylight.
Nothing said
Hi,
yet.
Doyle.
I've heard rumors.
You're a chump.
Anyway, all right. Is that all we've done these past few weeks?
What the hell?
I went into
I'm
an
an eBay
abandoned
sniper.
train tunnel with some friends, and
Died.
that was fun.
Yeah,
Almost fucking
and we
died.
yelled at you because no.
It was cool. I'd do it again though.
I too,
No.
I too have done that, and
I was
I
gonna say.
agree that it is cool.
I sniped a 440 off of eBay.
Oh yeah, with 0 seconds left.
Yeah.
I clicked on the listing just to see how it was doing. 10 seconds. Okay, bid,
Mid.
bid, yeet.
What was it, by the way?
I'll put a picture of it. The Bachmann Spectrum unlettered 440 with all the pinstriping.
You should name it
Be
Dur
beautiful.
Industries,
No,
or just DUR on the tender.
stupid.
No, it's great.
It's gonna be number 9 though. I don't know. It's gonna be number 9.
I'll have 2 number 9s.
Oh,
Number
that-
9 large.
That
Number
was the one
6.
other thing, although it does not involve me per se. The Henry Clay, our favorite little 42-inch mine Loki
Yarp.
in Pennsylvania
Yeah.
that has nearly blown up several times,
Nearly.
has completed its first half year of service because it wasn't up there until like July. So it has fully completed its first year of service for Pioneer Tunnel without exploding.
Honestly, I thought it
Yay.
was there forever. I had no idea that it was new.
Well, I mean, it's since its rebuild.
Hmm.
The picture's sideways, but here we go.
Since its rebuild, this is its first full year of service.
It's now
cute.
I know.
Boy. There you go.
I love it.
There you go.
Can't wait to take it home in a few weeks and actually run it.
Do it.
Yeah. So
If it doesn't run, I'm going to be
the Henry
absolutely
Clay has
pissed.
completed its first year in service without exploding,
Yay!
which for that engine is a major accomplishment.
Yarp.
How did I get a point?
Because you were A, not here when we started, and B, also in a game when we started.
Physics major. Chicken yeet.
Okay, thank you, Taskmaster, for not killing the game when
Yeah, well, it's your fault. Anyway, where did this... Okay, keep it on this. Anyway, it's time to
I
move
show
on.
you damn.
Is it that time?
I think it's that time.
Alright.
What time is it?
4. Oh, can I do it? I've never gotten to do this before.
Okay, fine. Just
Don't
clear my
stop.
throat so I see how it is.
Ladies and
Whoa,
gentlemen,
Robotnik.
it is time for...
Okay, that was
do it.
pretty good.
That was actually pretty good.
Eh.
Alright. In one
give it
corner.
a
Oh, we
solid
also
6.
haven't picked who's going to be the other one. Wait, I don't know
I'll
who's
do it.
doing who.
I am not doing
What's
it.
doing what?
I don't-
I don't.
I'm doing
I
the
am
GS64.
watching it.
Alright.
Okay, then I'll do the GS4 then.
Western Pacific GS64 versus the SP GS4. Two
This is the most
very
divided
different
Same
locomotives.
I've ever been a part
Goddamn
of.
thing.
2 locomotives that are
Same.
100% not different.
Alright, can I have some
They
can I
are
have
the
some images
same
of the two of
goddamn
them?
Thing.
Mine doesn't have an images on this
Get a
site, but I
picture.
will get you one.
Those are the same goddamn thing.
Or are they?
Oh my god.
You know, I'm gonna get you.
What the fuck is this? Chicken. Chicken
document.
Yeah,
I
it's chicken
can watch
document.
Legal. Legal.
There's the GS64 and all of its GS64 glory.
Okay,
Excellent.
and here's the GS4 in the railroad, etc. for Portland and Western.
I should get a thought
What the
point because Milky's images
Why?
you have to click on Milky's link, whereas you don't actually technically have to click on mine.
Why is it lettered Portland Western?
Excursions.
Because
Visible
when you're
concern.
When the head
Portland
of
and
the Portland
Western.
and
God damn it. What is the CP rail thing doing?
big bad.
It's just kind of there.
Yeah, that's a grain car. Why is it?
Yeah.
You know what? Because it's
The
Bob's
coal
railroad.
train
Yeah.
runs on whole grain, baby.
But it's oil.
Shut up.
Shut up. Uh,
Don't
The
ruin
oil
my dreams
train
like you did in
runs
my
on
dream.
wheat, grain.
yeah.
I don't know.
I haven't. That boggles me. No, it can't be. What? What?
Clearly, they're shoveling grain into the
Here's
cryobox.
another picture for those
I-
that don't want.
It's the cursed image.
I mean, can we get like this?
There you go.
Like, Agility's picture is pretty good. These are not great pictures of the daylight in terms of
Okay,
getting good looks at it.
steamlocomotives.com. You have
So
failed.
like a
Milky, there is a daylight that is still in active service. It should not be this hard to find a quality photo.
When you're going
So-
off of the steamlocomotives.
Your mic is still ear rapey from that locomotive verse.
Yeah.
Turn your mic down, god damn it.
ah fuck. There's got to be a roster shot of it.
Roster
Is this
shots.
better?
Is what?
Do you
better?
want?
Oh, your mic. Yeah, your mic's fine. All right. Let's
Let
do
me
the
find
thing.
it.
Okay.
Let's do
you know
the
what's
locomotive
there?
verbiage.
Perfect.
This is also like it's,
Better.
all right. Fine. We'll live with this one for now.
There you
Thank you. That's a good one. A side shot is decent, although that's a little blurry. Anyway, yeah, time to move on to locomotive versus.
Okay.
Let's do this thing.
I'm with
Who should go first? The GS4 or the knockoff GS4?
GS4
knockoff.
is original. Well, we have.
I think the knockoff. I'm gonna say the knockoff.
Okay.
All right, Achilles. You know how to do this, right?
Um,
Happy, bro.
You don't know how to do
Yeah.
this. You'll figure it out though.
I don't know how to do this.
It's okay. You ask
Alright.
a thing.
I would assume it's similar.
It's
to
similar
that
to how
of
it's always been.
Okay. What, Milky, is your water tender water capacity?
23,300.
Okay, we're gonna do a different one because that's the same.
No. If you do the same, now he goes.
What?
Yep.
That's not fair.
I
That's
mean,
how
you
this
picked something that
works.
was the same.
Because I know he has both stat sheets open and he's scanning for a stat. That's
Well, no, you're not allowed to have both stat sheets open.
And I don't.
Okay.
You're only allowed to have your stat sheet open, and and
Well,
you can
it
look at
also helps that
any
they're very
pictures
similar
of the other one.
engines.
What the hell is this?
I don't know. I
Oh,
don't
well,
even-
did you encounter Whoa!
Cursed image.
It is listed on the Google search as Blocks World Play SP4449 Daylight
Oh my
Engine.
All right,
And I
good. Let's
God.
move on.
Okay.
Milky, what's
Okay.
your thing? See if you can find one that isn't a tie.
How many of you were built?
6. There were 6 of us
28.
built.
All right, Milky,
Okay.
you have a point.
That's
Question.
fair.
All right, Jadar has a question.
What are your loco base IDs?
There's another one.
6681.
Wait, what?
6,681. That's my local base ID.
You want to know mine? 281.
Jesus.
Wait, what?
Wait, local base ID is a point?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Is that a
It means
point?
you were,
Because it is.
it means you were entered in. It means you're better.
it means
Yes.
it means they
No.
like you more if you were lower.
That's so unfair.
I know it is. Live with it.
Life is unfair, motherfucker.
That's a totally isolated thing from the locomotive.
I know.
That's
It's
That's
a
like
random
asking-
thing that can bring back the locomotive from the dead.
that's like asking a truck how many
Yes.
freight cars it can pull.
That's legitimate. All right. Don't compare that to Loco Base ID. Loco Base ID is completely ridiculous. Anyway, Milky, continue.
I don't think that's a valid.
what is your
That's such a stupid point.
factor of adhesion?
It's 4.26, I think.
You think?
27.
He thinks.
27. 4.27.
Okay, mine is 4.16.
Milky gets one. Ooh, so that means there are some differences between these locomotives.
Barely.
What's your minimum wear available?
Somebody's
it's-
echoing.
That's gonna be like the same.
Oh,
117.
115.
Oh my god.
Wait a minute. How much do you guys weigh? Just the engine.
Engine,
Right.
400. No, just the engine.
Just the engine. Engine weight.
Go first, Smokey.
475,000.
I'm 465,100.
Ooh.
What?
Wait a minute. You're lighter, but you have heavier rail.
I'm 465,100.
Axle loading.
Weirdness.
Oh,
Alright,
right.
anyway, Milky, continue.
Wait, how come he gets to go again?
Because he wasn't the one who asked the point and screwed it up. It was Jader that asked the question, so that's completely external.
Also, Chris asked.
That's so stupid.
No, it's not.
That's-
It's
You're stupid.
designed so that other people can't change who's going next. Because then people could know things about the engine and ask pointed questions that would get the tide to shift.
Yeah.
Now it's just in your guys' hands.
Also, Chris asked about axle loading.
Well, no, I didn't ask about it. I just said that's the reason why an engine would have a heavier weight of rail while
case,
still being
axle
lighter.
All right, what's your axle loading? Okay, asked it. Agility, you go first.
Oh, axle loading.
Yes.
Okay, go. Max weight per axle is 7237.
69,000.
Nimbile. What?
There's-
Wait, how is
Wait a
lower
minute.
better?
Lower
That
is-
doesn't make sense.
Because it's Why would heavier be better?
For maximum weight per axle?
Yeah.
Well, here's a very brief thing. Basically, by having a lighter axle loading, a lighter amount of weight on each axle, it means that the weight is better distributed amongst the whole of the locomotive.
Yeah.
Not, the drivers or the front truck or the back truck aren't bearing, more weight than anything else. It's evenly distributed. Therefore, it can go over lighter sections of
Yeah,
rail.
the maximum axle loading is a
It's
measure
just-
of the axle with the most weight on it.
It's just balanced.
So a lighter axle loading means your engine is better distributed, which means you don't have any points that are particularly heavy, and your engine is less weight on the rails, on a specific
Looks
point of
cute.
rail, I should say.
Looks at Q2.
What?
Okay. So on with this. What's your tender fuel capacity? I know it's going to be a dumb question.
I'm pretty sure that's the same.
All right, well then give it.
Tender fuel capacity, or just in general?
Yeah.
Okay, it's 6,000.
Wait.
6,000 what?
6,000 air.
Oh, gallons, tons, whatever. I don't know what unit
6,000
this is.
tons. Clearly.
6,000 gallons?
This chart does not make any sense whatsoever. I don't
It
get
makes
this.
lots
I
of
know
sense.
it doesn't have anything on it.
It's
Okay,
tender
my
fuel
tender
capacity,
capacity.
oil/coal.
Yep.
It's
So that works
6,000 oil units.
6,000 oil units. What is an oil unit? That'd be a gallon.
It's oil!
Milky, what
It's
is
an
your
absolute
Milky,
unit.
how many oil units do you have?
6,000 gallons of oil, or 22.7 tons of coal.
6,275 gallons.
Oil units.
Wait, what
I have
is yours,
6,000.
Milky?
This is bigger than mine.
6,275.
Where do they find those extra 275 gallons?
75 gallons. I'm getting blown out here, God.
Yeah.
I didn't even think this was going to be a washout. I thought it was going to be a dead
I mean, they're
tie.
very close, but they're just a little... it's just a little bit better. Alright, Milky.
You know, it's like Red Sox
Okay,
and Dodgers.
What's your tender loader weight?
Tender loaded weight is 60 million, 8 million,
What got it?
397,700.
What? Mine is 313,730.
What? You sure? Tender loaded weight?
Tender loaded weight. I
Yeah.
can copy the whole stat line.
Yeah, that's it.
Why is this tender so much heavier?
That is the whole stat line for tender loaded weight.
It's the
Okay.
frickin' pinstriping.
And can someone give me the total engine and tender weight? Just give it.
Tender loaded weight. Alright, well, I'll give that to you. What the hell?
I don't understand.
It's so light. How did you do this?
Alright,
don't
Milky.
know.
How did you wait? Why did you give him 10 or total
I gave
weight?
him I gave him total weight as well, so that we just don't have to waste time with him asking that and you giving it and him winning again. Because that's what he just said to do. If you you want to say it out loud, you can. What's your total weight?
Next question, please.
All right. Anyway, Milky.
What is your boiler pressure?
That's 260 psi.
Mine is 300.
60 pressure units.
260.
He goes about 30 speed.
300 pressure units, my boys.
It's one absolute unit.
Yeah.
6,000 oil.
I think I was the one behind this idea, and
Yeah, I would believe it.
I'm gonna come back in the style points.
I'm
though.
sure you are. All right, Milky,
Yeah.
continue.
What's your tractor effort?
Tractive effort is 65, 759 pounds. Tractive effort units.
66,326.
No,
Hate my life. I just want to die.
The tractive effort units it's not tractive effort units, it is tractor units.
Tractor unit.
No, it's just tractors. It's measured in tractors.
Sure.
Y'all.
Or efforts.
I think this is a pretty much over.
All right, well, we're going to continue the murder. Milky,
That's not fair.
Milky, keep killing him.
Okay, what is your firebox area?
451 square feet.
Oof. 385 square feet.
Yes, I finally won
Wait,
something.
why, how does... I thought these were supposed to be the same. I've been lied to.
I thought they were too. I'm going to scroll down to the...
Yeah, I have to be very careful about what I ask.
Yep.
I seriously need to think this over.
You're only 8
because
points behind. You'll be fine.
I need to win.
I made words come
need
back.
to win.
You can do it.
No, you don't.
I believe in you.
Okay, Milky.
You should ask him about your wheel size.
Pretty sure that's bigger on his.
Well, then what is your wheel size?
I'm not gonna ask wheel size.
If you're so
I
confident,
think
I'm
Jader
asking.
just asked wheel size. Is that what you meant
Okay,
to do,
If
Jader?
you're so
I am.
confident in your wheel size, what is it?
I'm not
He's not. He's
confident in my wheel
unconfident
size.
in his wheel
What is it?
size.
No, because that's gonna get Milky.
He's very wheel conscious.
I'm not answering that question.
I mean,
80 inches.
if Jader's
by the
asking
way.
it, you have to answer it. If it's
By the by.
Give Milky the point.
why, what is yours?
73 and a half.
Wait, why, what? Huh?
What?
Excuse me, what?
I expected them to both be the same. I've been lied to this whole time.
So have I. I'm the one that chose it.
Alright, anyway. Agilities continue.
What is your evaporative heating surface?
Mine is 4,887.
Mine, Milky, is 4,922.
Okay.
Here's the dream. Here's the dream, guys.
Yeah,
3 points and a dream.
3 points in a dream. Accurate. I need to die. Please end my life. End my suffering.
On with the verses.
What is your power L1?
Wow. Going down there. Okay.
Hey.
70. 54,000.
Oh, that's not what I meant to ask.
Yeah.
It's too late.
Too late.
Too late to apologize.
What was yours, Milky?
Okay,
54,000 something?
Mine's been
Yeah,
his.
100.
Folks, I think it's time for something.
Evan, shut up. Let me finish this stupid question.
Okay.
Okay, well, I have a question.
Then ask it when we're done with this one. Milky,
Honestly,
what is yours?
54,107.
and mine is less than that, so
What is yours?
Ooh.
I'm not answering.
The audience at home
What
wants
is
to know.
yours?
I will comment about this shader.
41,576.
Why is that so much lower?
I don't know. I thought the
What's the question,
GS64s were good locomotives. Clearly, I've been
thought
lied
they were
to.
too.
All right,
Wait.
Chris.
No wonder
What was the
there are only
question?
6.
Chris,
Folks,
what's your question?
Folks, it's time for Robert Lamasine's power computation.
All right, what is it, people?
27,120.
God damn it. 23,450.
Okay.
452. I need to give myself that little bit of extra credit
Okay,
here.
well, it's 3 to 13. Continue,
If
Moki.
it's any help, the SPGS6 is the same. But we aren't doing that.
The same as what? The GS64?
Yeah.
I want to believe you, but
The GS6 is on the same page as the GS4.
I almost was like, who built you? What is your valve gear?
well, I mean, you can't ask anything right now. It's Milky's turn.
Well, yeah, but also that doesn't.
I just want to win something in my life.
Okay, then you have this next point. What is your evaporating surface divided by cylinder volume?
247. Point 0.58.
Mine is the 88.
Hold on, I didn't hear a single thing that Milky just said. Not only is his mic going funny,
58.
the echo is bad. Stop making noise, just mute your mic or
Stop.
something.
There we go.
258.37.
Oh, I'm gonna.
What was yours again, Achilles?
Two.
What the fuck is
247.
with your mic?
240. Okay. All right, Milky, continue. We are 3 points away from being able to go to style points.
Okay. I have some questions then, but we will wait.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, do you have a
Milky.
question?
Chris, I thought you had some questions. That's
He
why-
said he's
Well, I
gonna
was-
wait.
Well, clearly Milky does not have a
Great area.
question. I believe I should be able
No,
to
you
ask the
don't.
next
You
question.
don't get to do
Great
that.
area.
Great area, he said.
Great area?
Yeah.
90-20.
90-40.
Go.
Superheating surface. Superheating surface. Can we get a superheating?
Oh, superheating surface.
Yes, we're asking you.
2086.
Damn.
Okay.
2086.
What was yours, Milky?
Oh.
2086.
So they were both 2086.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Have we
Achilles,
asked-
you have the ball again.
Hold
Oh.
on.
Ooh, wow. I'm going to come back from a 15-3 deficit here. Here we go. Let's do it. I need to be very careful with what I ask.
Yes, you do.
What is your high pressure cylinders?
Okay, let's make sure that I got right.
Wait a minute. High pressure cylinders.
25.5 by 32.
27 by 30. That's
not another one of these.
Now hold
Way to
on
do
a
those
second.
guys Western Pacific.
Milky's is bigger in area. Now that I look at it.
I'm bigger than
Hold-
Spoke, but he's bigger
Hold
than
on a second. High pressure cylinders.
Yes,
does
as
that mean
opposed
that
to the
it's
non-existent low pressure cylinders.
What?
Milky's would be.
There are no low pressure cylinders.
About
Don't get
sailor-
excited.
Wait a minute. Does this mean this is a 4-cylinder engine?
No, it's not. None of them are.
No.
Neither of these engines are 4-cylinder engines. Anyway, so I don't feel like doing the math there.
So I'll ask, should I ask a different one? Does it get turned over to Milky?
Just guess a different one.
All right. I don't know what to ask.
Well, you've got to ask something.
Okay. If you can't come up with a question, I will come up with a question because I have.
I have something. I don't know. This is shot in the dark.
Yeah.
But what is your driver wheelbase?
Driver wheelbase. 21.50.
Oh, dang it! I'm 20. All right.
No, that's good.
Wait, you have 20?
Yeah, you get a point for that. Good
That's
job.
good. That means you can go around tighter curves.
Yep.
Oh wait. Really?
Small-
Oh yeah. Okay,
Shorter
I'm done.
wheelbase, tighter curves. All right, continue.
I'll do engine wheelbase then.
Okay, 40 points.
45.83.
Milky, what was yours?
47.
And what was yours, Julius?
45.83.
Okay. Sorry. All right. Ooh, we could go to style points now if you wanted to pull it off to style points.
Now hold on.
What?
I have some questions before we go to style points.
Well, Julius could still call it up to style points if he wants to avoid your questions that are not style related.
Look, I don't know who's gonna get these. I'm on either side, so I don't know.
I'm just giving him the option. We've hit 20 points. I'm just saying that because he's unfamiliar. Anyway, okay. What are your questions?
Well, what type of air pump do you have? Do you have a cross compound or single stage or what?
These are huge mainline engines. I would assume cross compound.
Yeah, I would.
I would
assume.
You don't know. You never know. I mean, look at the Reading. The Reading had dual single stages for most of their entire existence, so you know.
Well, the Reading is dumb.
Where do you?
Yeah, the Reading is.
I don't know where to look because I'm not.
Look on the photos. It is not in the stats. You will never find that in stats.
Yeah.
I believe
They're hidden underneath the thing, aren't they?
I believe we both do.
Yeah, I think we both have I have cross compound. I can see.
Okay,
that.
we will both say that.
So,
How many dynamos do you have?
can't see.
Do
They're
you
hidden
have
under the
one?
I've been on
streamlining.
top of my engine.
No, that's on the top. That's on the top.
Yeah, they're hidden
Yeah, I
underneath the
only have
streamlining.
Exactly.
Yeah, WP
4449 has two dynamos. What's the other class of locomotive?
GS64.
It's Skyline casing on the top, so
Well, you both have that.
Yes, you both have Skyline casings. Looks like, according to this photo that I'm looking at here, it has one dynamo. The GS64 has one dynamo. So,
Ooh.
point to Milky for.
Isn't that it then?
For having extra dynamo.
That's what my other question is. So, yeah, there's only one dynamo.
Okay. You got another
That's
question?
dumb.
hey,
I'm not saying there isn't one. I'm saying there's only one.
Never mind. Continue. Wait, whatever you were gonna do.
Okay, do you want to go first in the style points, Milky?
Alright, so we're pulling up to style points.
No,
Alright.
you can go first.
It's free for all on style points.
Rock, paper, scissors. I don't want to go first.
That's
It's
not how
free
this
for all.
works. Wait,
Well, I go.
hey, O'Gillies. Do
Yeah,
you have an air horn?
I do not.
You're a chump.
No.
Point to Milky.
You lose.
Wait a
You
minute,
have
no.
an air horn.
What's
Use
that?
it.
How is that? Oh, do I?
No.
I can't see in this photo.
He does have an air horn.
Oh,
Okay.
do I? I can't see.
Yes, you do.
There you go. There's your air horn, white brand there.
He has a
Yeah.
Know your locomotive.
Stop trying to be all pissy with me because I'm not a steam guy.
Alright, elephant
Okay,
ear.
trying to help you.
free.
Your opponent is also trying to help you by.
Bonus points for elephant ears.
Yeah, did you ever have elephant ears, Milky?
No, I did not.
Alright, get an elephant ear.
Were you on one of the world's most popular trains?
Yes, actually, they ran the California Zephyr. So
Ooh.
Ooh.
Checkmate.
Yeah, his train.
Yeah, that.
let's see. Okay, that would. Ooh. Okay. Look at your plow. Look at the plow. I have a little thingy that's a step to get onto the plow.
I do too.
You can see the little grate. No, you don't.
You
I don't.
both have that.
Oh, we both do.
Yeah.
Good job.
Let's see. I
Good
could
try,
probably points for.
Question.
Yeah.
What type of valve gear do you
We
guys
both have
have?
wall
okay.
shards.
Oh,
Oh,
How about a point? How about a point for not having the skirting and being able to see that sweet piping
No.
and actual mechanics of the engine?
No, that wouldn't be a point.
But that's what happened in my later years.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a point. That wouldn't be a point either
Oh.
way because I think it's stylish to have the skirting. But
Are you
you
guys
both
both-
get the skirting
wait.
taken off.
Are these both Lima?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
No, he's got a gyro light. Woo woo.
Yeah, I do.
That's a point.
Yeah, it's stylish.
And it's functionable. It's like dislikes, but the FRA didn't mandate them.
Woo woo.
We have our number boards in the middle of the streamlining, which I think looks a lot cooler
No,
than
it's
having
for-
them.
I think it does not.
No, you don't. You have them in the front of the
They moved
streamline.
around.
Yeah,
I just think it looks cooler, personally.
Okay, personal point. Okay.
Yeah, I don't really agree with that stuff.
Yeah, I don't.
You guys all have comfy seats? Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Beef
Oh,
soup.
he has an all-weather cab too.
Everybody is on with the
Yeah.
car. They're the same engine.
Yeah, exactly. I was just looking for a point there.
How many survive of you, Joey?
That's so unfair. That is
Ooh.
not fair.
Ooh.
If you look at the numbers proportionally, I have less, therefore there's less of a chance for me to
Well,
survive.
okay,
Also,
okay,
the
but how many survive?
none.
Alright,
Half.
then.
Half of you survives.
Wait, really?
Tender.
That doesn't count.
It's still half of the
That doesn't
locomotive.
count.
You can't
It's
want
not
the
half a
locomotive without
locomotive.
tender.
A tender is not half a
Can I-
locomotive.
You can't disconnect the tender from the locomotive. Necessary.
You can't disconnect the tender.
Okay,
Okay.
still one. For me.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna look for a couple more.
I pulled the American Freedom Train.
I pulled the California Zephyr.
The American
said
Freedom
that.
Train. It's the American Freedom Train.
All
How
right.
many states
I'm
operated?
gonna give
Milky?
Milky a point for
All
having
of
some
them.
dope scheme to start
Benny.
his life.
No, he was in California and Oregon, maybe.
I took a trip
false,
across
false.
the
How many
country.
states? How many states has the GS4 operated? He's operated in every single one of the lower 48.
Sure, under the S.
That's
No,
not-
not Utah. He has not been to Utah.
Yes, he has.
Freedom Train.
Oh, okay. Sorry. In like
Yes.
1979,
No, wait a minute.
You're
Wait a
a-
minute. No, wait a minute. Hold on. I
Negative.
want
I was negative 36 years old.
to ask you a question. If it didn't go to Utah on the American Freedom Train, and you're not counting the American Freedom
did.
Train, and I said it went.
Utah as
Hold
American-
hold on. I said it went to all of the lower 48. Then that means it went to every single other state except Utah in regular service. I want to point out your logic there, buddy.
It avoided
There was
Utah
not
specifically.
logic.
Nobody likes Utah.
That's stupid.
It just
Okay.
Also, we didn't exactly get the
another
chance
question.
to refute the fact that it was
Oh, no.
all the lower
I was gonna
48.
say bonus points for being in the full Buccaneers, but then I remembered that there's also a GS4 in the full Buccaneers.
No.
Okay.
No, there is.
Question.
There's not?
When
No, he's a mountain.
Oh, he is. Yeah, okay. Bonus points for being in the
No.
full Buccaneers.
No, but bonus
You're
points
not
for being
a
the
mountain.
9 Horsemen
Yeah.
Wait,
twice.
that is so not fair.
Yeah,
That
and
is-
yours is super fair.
Yeah.
So he got a point for being in the Iron Horseman, but I did not get a point for being in the full Buccaneers.
We make
You're
the
not in
Iron
the full
Horseman.
Buccaneers.
That's
You're
bias.
a mountain.
So biased.
you're a fucking
You're a mountain in that
Shut up,
series.
Taylor.
With GS Tender.
Sorry.
You're not a
Okay.
GS6.
Default.
You are a toy.
I have
When were you guys retired?
1958.
the SP diesel or SP. The WP dieselized so early.
Yeah.
Okay, so Milky wins.
I feel biased. I feel like I'm being attacked.
Remember the time where you picked this?
Yeah.
Bonus point for
Chris.
Oh shit! Hold on.
Okay.
make it a bonus point for having 6, therefore meaning I'm more unique than you.
I'm sorry, my main computer starting to get hot. I noticed.
Okay.
I mean,
Don't worry.
Can I get a
no,
A bonus-
because this engine is anything but unique.
How is it?
Carbon
No,
copy of
you know
something
what?
that the
It's
SP
really-
ordered during
yes.
World War II.
Literally has 6 variants of the same locomotive that look exactly the same from the outside. This
Now,
one's
hold on.
a little bit different.
Oh wow.
Now hold on. I will give Joey's here a point because he only has one headlight on the front prow instead of 2.
No, we already
Yes.
did the point.
I
for
don't.
2.
I don't think. I don't think that's a style point. You have to get Jada to agree with you.
It's unique.
It's
What?
really not unique.
No,
No,
yeah,
it really
If you
is.
didn't
Have you
realize
read that
most
the
engines
TS
only have one
4
headlight on the front, unless you're in Japan.
Yes, but instead of having this iconic 2, he only has
No.
1.
So instead
Even
of
said
being
the iconic
special,
too.
he's like everyone else. Therefore, he should get a point.
Yes.
No.
No,
thanks for the
no,
effort.
Chaiwai is the point.
I'm
Right.
gonna go ahead and call it here.
I'll also give him a point for having wheels because everyone else has that too.
Yeah.
Now, actually, you know what? I will give Milky
Yes.
one
I'm
point.
I'm calling it here.
You don't
He
get to
doesn't
call
need
it
any
here.
points.
Hold on. No.
No.
Look.
No, hear Chris out.
Why are we arguing about this shit? Let's just move on to the next one.
I'm going to give Milky a few points. 1 for being the BNSF executive steam locomotive.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's not the
that's
BNSF
dope.
executives.
I
Yeah,
was
but it
in
gets-
2000.
Oh, in 2000.
It was.
And when were you the executive steam
hold on.
locomotive,
No, hold
Achilles?
I'm not done here. I'm not done here yet.
Why are
I'd
you?
also like to give.
I thought we were friends, Chris.
I'd also like to give Milky a point for having that weird elongated headlight thing that they had during World War II to prevent Japanese from bombing them.
What?
Oh, what?
No.
I think both of you had that.
All right.
No,
No.
the nose shroud.
No. So no on that. Moving on. What's the next one?
Let's see here. Doyle McCormick runs
No.
49.
I
Ran
was in a
Chum.
few movies.
For not getting yelled at when I blew the air horn.
It was in that movie that one time.
Tough guy.
Was in that movie that one time as well as in the new movie that's now it's been in multiple movies.
Oh yeah, the IMAX movie.
Yeah, it's been in an IMAX movie, and they did special
I'm just gonna give it 1
runs.
point for the one movie.
Let's see here. What else did they do? Doyle McCormick runs it. They
Your
have a
chum.
specialized.
The your chum meme became a thing because
No.
Yeah.
We've also given him one more, and only one more, because
Oh my god, they
he-
made the Your Chum Meat into a real thing.
Oh,
No,
like,
the whatchamacallit? They also have a brand new shop from a city that provided it.
This is not shop versus.
Yes, but they have the
No.
city loves look.
Yeah, good
Okay,
for
then
them.
look, can I give it a point
This-
for being the Christmas engine?
No. All right, moving on. Actually,
Fuck
yes,
yeah.
because I love those stupid Christmas lights. All right, all right,
Yes.
we're done here. 23-6.
Yeah, we're done.
Oof.
I'm good.
23.
All right, I'm glad this is one of the oldest locomotive versus ideas that's sat in the list. Achilles, thank you for making it happen finally. Nobody picked
Thank you.
it
Otherwise, I would have done it and hated it more than I do.
Yeah, I wonder why nobody picked it.
because they're the same engine.
Oh, they are.
I should have.
Clearly, they're not.
The 010-2 versus Ivan, and then done Ben Ivan, and done the whole thing in a Russian accent.
I would have been the
No.
010 too.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Next week on Nokomo versus Chias 64 versus Chias 6. See how far that goes.
All right, let's cast our votes.
Okay.
I'm gonna vote for the GS4 because it's not a knockoff.
I hate you, Ellis. I'm not coming out to Rhode Island next year.
Good, because I would have drowned you.
I
Wait, what? Okay,
Concrete
now I am
shoes.
gonna come out. I want to die anyway.
I'm going to vote for the GS64 simply because of the fact of a pity vote.
Okay. We're getting demolished.
I'm torn. I like both of these.
Jader,
I
you
will.
vote for the GS6.
I'm going to vote for the Western Pacific thingy because of the Feather River.
Okay.
Feather
Feather River.
logo. Shut up.
Fevo
I'm
Wiva.
curious about that.
Shut up.
And now
So
it's
the
should
thing
be
with
vote.
the pity vote won.
Yeah.
Normally that's not how that works.
Yeah.
Well, look, I'm doing it because it got so low. I feel bad.
All right.
You know
Well,
what? Either way, I'm not even mad. I like these engines.
it's a win-win. It's like when you bet
Yeah.
against the team that you like.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
Alright, GG.
yeah, GG.
You know what else is GG? We're at 67% on our Barca Stars fundraiser.
That's not GG. You wouldn't want to end it there. Am
Well,
I
it's
right?
a good game so far. So we're gonna...
Good game. There you go.
Good
Yeah,
game.
good game so far.
Good game so
I'm
far.
copywriting that. Please do not steal.
Yeah.
You know it's a good game?
Yeah. What?
Some 3713 things, because they're doing tender decking.
Yeah.
Means it's done. It's actually not tender
tomorrow,
decking. It's like tender cistern.
Tender
Yeah,
system.
that's exactly what it is. It's tendered cistern. That's all.
Cistern.
Yeah.
So, speaking of decking, a
Oof.
Trax train the other day was traveling south on the, I believe it was the Red Line. It was traveling south on the, on the Green Line. And it was traveling on the Green Line, and it was going to meet another train, and it was a rush hour train. And so the rush hour train had a 4-car set, and it was barely leaving the station. And so the rear set picked a crossing, fishtailed into the other track, and collided with a outbound from Salt Lake train. And nobody died, but it
That's
happened
good.
about 7:30 p.m. And the northbound turned a corner, leaving West Valley Station. The last car fishtailed into a power toll, which piled on top of a train car, and then it hit the southbound train.
Ooh.
The southbound train also derailed in the collision. And I do not believe anybody was hurt in the collision. Or nobody was riding the northbound train. And 19 people were aboard the train going south, and though no one was injured, the passengers had to wait an hour just because officials wanted to make sure that a power pole had been powered down.
Also because there was a crash.
Also,
Yeah.
because there was a crash.
It's kind of a big deal.
A bus bridge
Yeah,
was set up, and UTA tweeted that riders should prepare for a longer commute, and then everybody in the Salt Lake Valley called UTA the worst system ever for making them have to delay 5 minutes. So, yeah.
Well, at least you guys didn't have a broken rail. I mean, I'm not sure if it's better or worse, to be honest. But there was a broken rail out on Metro North, and broke at about 6:30 a.m. So just in time for the morning commute. And 2 hours later, they had it patched up enough to let trains through, which I'm sure that sucked for everyone that was coming down the Harlem line. And I don't want this question. Crap. It's making me answer a survey. I don't want a survey right now. I'm just gonna hit the bottom thing on every single one. I'm gonna ruin this survey. Sure, do this.
Speaking of surveys,
Yes, I'm Cuban.
speaking of,
This has been definitely survey podcast.
speaking of
everyone.
surveys,
Yeah.
something that doesn't survey popular with train crews is battery-powered locomotives. But that's exactly what General Electric has decided to produce alongside the Burlington Northern Santa Fe. So BNSF decided one day that they wanted to make a Jevo that was powered by batteries, and
That sounds like a bad idea already. BNSF
Railway Company, quote, the company that oversees one of the largest freight railroad networks in America, will demonstrate a battery-powered locomotive paired with diesel locomotives in a quote-unquote consist, which is jargon.
Allegedly a consist.
Yeah.
To power a freight train along a stretch of rail in California's Central Valley between Stockton and Barstow on the HSTO BAR manifest train, which is not in the article, but I happen to know that. So,
Foamer.
and you know what's not going to make foamers happy?
Most things.
Metra has gotten a hold of the very first F-59s from the Surfliner and Cascades and is painting them up, and they look really, really freaking bad.
No, they have the best paint scheme ever. What are you talking about?
The fact that they just thought it would be great
It's Oregon Southern approved.
to patch over the
Yeah, that's what.
liner and
Here's
it there.
I didn't actually look at them. Why? What is bad about them?
It's just they patched over the Surfliner. They kept it in the Surfliner scheme. And yes, Jade, or no,
yeah,
Jade,
that's just a temporary thing.
The Oregon Southern
Calm
approved.
down.
What are you talking about?
God's sake. Seriously, for God's sake, just
I'm not.
calm the fuck
Re-
down.
No, I will not calm down. I will not calm
yeah,
down because you could be the proud owner of an MBTA at 40 pH for $26 because
Wait,
that is
seriously,
because
$26?
that's the current bid. It ends.
Well, you know the condition about that. You need.
Then you gotta move it.
You do have to move it, and all the inside
Well,
bits
no,
are gone.
It's
And they're
perfect.
removing
when
the
it makes
trucks, and you
sabotage.
need to scrap it. Pretty much.
You don't need to.
It's perfect if you want to make sabotage.
Well, no, I'm just saying what I've heard about.
Oh,
this
you know,
option.
it says, you know, most of the parts are being sold for on-site scrapping, but, you know, if you're buying it, you can do whatever you want with it.
If you know where to buy a prime mover, it's fine.
Yep. You know. And also they're going to be selling red line and orange line subway cars, so if you want those,
Ooh.
yeah.
Although I don't think I can put a trolley pole on one.
I'm
Big
sure
wet.
if you,
Why?
or you could.
If
Nope,
you
you're
manage
not
to
with
get,
that attitude. You can't.
yeah,
Not with that.
if you manage to get your hands on a blue line car, they already come with I almost called it panagraphs.
Okay, so it wouldn't be
So
as
much
hard.
paragraphs on top of them, you know. The
Yeah.
Come
instruction
with
manual.
paragraphs.
That's what the Boeing car has.
It has 2 paragraphs.
No,
Has
many
2 whole
paragraphs.
paragraphs.
Books. We have about 10 binders for that car, but
Well, speaking of buying things, well, sort of, kind of. This is terrible.
this is terrible.
This is terrible.
Oh, Julie's had a killer segue. Now you're doing this.
No,
is-
hold on. Let me see if I have something I can pull this around with.
Well, on the note of buying things, somebody is going to be buying these Nebraska shops from Union Pacific because they are closing the Nebraska Panhandle locomotive shops. The Morrill, Nebraska shops are planning to be closed by the Union Pacific by the end of January. It is the faculty has a staff of 68, and they will likely be either displaced or laid off, and they will be and the work done will be moved to North Platte or North Little Rock, Arkansas. This is likely something to do with precision scheduled railroading, because there's a lot of stuff that's like this that's going on. But yeah, so you want to try that transition again, Chris?
Yes, on the note of buying things, the Wilmington and Western Railroad has acquired a turntable somehow.
Acquired somehow.
It was from
As
Iowa.
in,
I'm not really sure where it came from.
I thought it was Iowa.
I don't know what they're planning to do with it because they can only turn it around once. But
what?
they got a turntable now. Oh, yay.
They're gonna put it on the turntable and spin it around and go, "Wow, check this thing out."
Pretty much. That's about it. It's not every day you see
Hey, I
it.
know of a group in a similar
turntable.
situation I won't name. But
Como?
So,
no,
Okay.
not Coke.
Well,
They use it more than once a day.
yeah. It's just that they can, whatever. Anyway.
On the note, really quickly, of
No,
how I knew
screw
the
this.
symbol.
I'm hungry. We're gonna talk about food.
That's not what I was.
Too
I
late.
was saying something else.
Yeah, not anymore.
My chicken is cold.
So really quickly on the note of how I knew the symbol, it's just kind of a train and running.
Okay, so this
And so-
it wasn't relevant. Or it's just to plug your
No.
foamer knowledge in Run 8, which is not this section. Give him a point.
No, I was doing so well.
Anyway.
I was this
Oh
close.
shit!
So,
shit.
you know how
Why
Amtrak's
are
a
you-
bastard lately? They were gonna bus bridge the Southwest Chief, and then they were gonna, like, getting rid of, like, food all over the place.
Everything.
There was a rumor that they were gonna take the dining car off the Southwest Chief, which sucks, because why would you do that? But that's not going to happen. So they're in fact not even going to change what's with what you can eat on the Southwest Chief. And God, I wish I was on the Southwest Chief right now because I'm friggin' hungry.
Do you want me to send you food, Ellis?
Sure.
Send it by airmail.
Yeah, send it by airmail. It will be here by the time I have to wake up in the morning tomorrow. Southwest Chief is keeping its food. Ride the Southwest Chief. Food's pretty good when the dining car works. But it's not pretty good when a streetcar gets in the way of a garbage truck. And by gets in the way, I mean a garbage truck was not paying attention and ran into a streetcar. Because how do you not know that the streetcar is coming? This was down in New Orleans, for the record. And it's like one of their vintage streetcars, so it makes me feel bad. And Milky, you should feel bad too.
I feel bad.
And yeah, Jada, you should also feel bad. Everyone should feel bad. 6:40 or 7:46 a.m. So there's another screwed up commute. Yeah, delays Friday morning. Great way to start your Friday. That guy's fired.
On the note of things being wrecked. Oh boy.
A&A.
The Allentown and Auburn Railroad, this is what I was preluding to earlier. The Allentown and Auburn Railroad on, what was it, last Thursday? No, 2 Thursdays ago. Whatever the hell the date is on there. We were struck by vandals at our picnic grove. It's Sleepy Hollow Grove, even though it's not called Sleepy Hollow. We have had this sign that says Sleepy Hollow for it sitting in the shop for 2 years. But so people had come into the picnic grove sometime between Sunday night, hold on, let me take a look at the dates. Sometime between Sunday, October 28th, and Thursday sometime between October 23rd and Thursday, October 25th. And picked up every single picnic table, put them upside down, trashed the loading ramp that we haven't used in years, and picked up one of the picnic tables and threw them into the porta potties.
Sometimes you just gotta send it.
Yeet.
Now, we still are offering a cash reward. We kind of doubt we will ever find anyone. We firmly believe that it is the local Mennonite kids because they're a bunch of dicks.
Because they're the Mennonites.
Oof.
Yeah, because they're Mennonites, really, that's what it is. Look, these are the same people on my first day of car hosting. I'm hosting a caboose, because that's what we had at the time. We had a charter. I had about 50 people in the caboose, and they started climbing up onto the roof, and when we told them to get down, pretended to not know English.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Okay.
there go all the Mennonite viewers.
What viewers?
Spend the most
That's what I'm saying. What viewers? It was a wreck, and it really was a major setback since this was, we had lots and lots and lots of riders. We even on a shitty weekend with extra press coverage from this, because we made the top story on the news. That's a major accomplishment.
Yeah, from this
5 o'clock news. We still broke 600, but it's someday. That darn kids.
Darn kids. And I would have gotten away with it too.
If it weren't for your fucking meddling press.
Anyway.
Meddling journalists.
We are the press. I am the press.
I am the Senate.
I am the Senate, and these are the most beautiful train rides by state in the United States. If you want to look through all of them. And the saddest one is Wyoming because it doesn't have one.
Because it's
It's Union Pacific.
Yeah, Wyoming has Union Pacific listed.
But, you can't ride the.
Maybe you can't. Not with that attitude, you can't.
I believe in
Maybe
you.
you freight hop Union Pacific. That's it. That's the best ride ever.
But it's got everything. It's got every single state.
What's Hawaii? Oh, wait. Oh, no.
The one railroad in Hawaii?
Yeah, including Alaska and Hawaii, and Rhode Island even.
What do you
Do you
have?
guys even have a train?
We
that
have
goes?
the one on Aquinic Island. We
Yeah, you have
uh,
the MSTS route.
no,
I thought it was closed.
no. It's only mostly dead. It changed hands.
Oh,
But yeah, it's got whatever this one is, Black Hills Central for South Dakota. It's got the Newport and Narragansett Bay Railroad. That's the one for Rhode Island. They've got Strasburg.
Not the most scenic railroad in Pennsylvania.
Well,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't necessarily agree either, but
It should have
What's
done the
Utah?
East
Oh,
Broad
wait.
Top. Oh wait,
what's the most scenic railroad in
East
Pennsylvania?
Board Top,
Chris?
you mean?
East Broad Top.
What's the
You
most?
can't-
What's the most
Okay,
scenic?
let's go right East Broad Top, guys.
Now hold on.
Top?
Let me.
I'm down for
If
writing
I
East
had
Board
to
Top.
say the most scenic railroad in Pennsylvania would have to be Reading and Northern.
Okay,
Okay.
and you're probably right.
Because where else in the entire world can you go on a full day trip behind a steam engine with open windowed coaches on jointed rail track through narrow valleys and wide open plains,
I know
high
that,
bridges for $69?
Not the Cats, but Cats is New Mexico.
What's Colorado then?
Colorado is, I think, DNS.
Big surprise.
Yeah. Mount Washington
So
Cog for New
apparently it's
Hampshire.
only scenic in New Mexico.
Well, because it gets beaten out, apparently. Nebraska. You know what's Nebraska?
What?
The California Zephyr. There are a bunch of ones where it's the Amtrak train that goes through, and to be fair, they're usually pretty beautiful rides. Anyway, go ride Amtrak. And
You
do it
know,
before the
you know,
food is gone.
You ruined my transition.
well, continuing. Now that's ruined.
Or don't. So we'll talk about the other 3713 thing that I didn't get to say, which is they've got safety valves from Strasburg. And they were purchased with donations that were specifically for the safety valves. And they've got Strasburg Railroad Company printed on them. Because Strasburg. And with Steamtown on the brain, there is a new superintendent in town.
Have they announced him yet?
They have not announced who it is yet,
Okay.
but this is our saying that Debbie Conway is moving on from Steamtown to take a job at the regional office in Philadelphia, which is
this was a month ago, right?
I know, but it's been sitting
So,
here. It's been sitting here forever, and they still haven't announced who the new person is. So this is the
Speaking
most
of-
recent thing.
New things.
Thank you.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
I was
new
definitely
things,
done.
I didn't know you weren't done.
Oh my god.
What, Jader?
JJ's gonna strangle all of us.
So, yeah.
Yes, it was a month ago, but I've not been able to report on that because we've had other large and important pieces of news sort of crowding things.
Speaking of Steamtown, you said just as a foreword for everyone.
Is this going to be the stupid?
I have been told. Yes, Steamtown is stupid. I've been told that as well.
No.
That the new person who is in line to get up there, I do not. Apparently, I do know him. I don't know him. I can't think of anyone. He is on the Steamtown board of directors, and there will be big changes, and Steamtown will actually become a place that's you should go visit.
Are they going to fire up that
Still
Mikado?
go visit it. Anyway,
No. However, Steamtown is a bunch of idiots and broke 26's headlight because
Oh, that was so funny.
they ran into the wall.
Oof.
Now, I'd like for anyone who has not been to Steamtown, I'm going to set a pretense. They have the roundhouse. Hold on, that was Adam. I'm going to get a picture of it. They have the roundhouse. They have all their stalls. Well, they built a walkway in the back of the roundhouse for people to view. It's a great thing. Well, the tracks go underneath of the walkway, because it wasn't supposed to be like that.
really?
There was supposed to be a walkway there. Well, each roundhouse has a set of chalks on them
Each
that
roundhouse.
that are meant to
Prevent that.
prevent the locomotive to go through the wall and then out.
Tell them
That's
to
where those
behave.
wonderful chalks are. They're underneath the walkway. Well, for whatever reason, I don't know what the hell possessed them, 26 came up and bumped her headlight right on the fucking thing and smashed the glass and bent the frame.
Wait,
I don't know how the hell you do it. It's no 6.0. It's not like a big engine. It's tiny, and it's just like, oh my god, you're a
Maybe
bunch
the brakes
of
weren't
fucking...
working.
At this point, you might as well just
I've had that happen with
again, because that's what you love doing so much. And we'll find a picture of it. Oh my god. Fuck.
Well, okay, Chris.
Idiot.
I was certain that you were gonna follow up with. Well, if you haven't been to Steamtown, go for their event where they're closed on Christmas or something like that. Because you posted that in the guest list, so I took it out of this, and I didn't make it because it's stupid. It's not an event; they're closed. Anyway,
It's my favorite Steamtown holiday.
Speaking
I go
of-
to it every year.
Julius, take it
Speaking
away.
of things being closed,
Yeah.
Union Pacific announced the other day that the service units of Denver, Livonia, St. Louis, Sunset, and Twin Cities will be closing.
Peace.
The company said that 475 jobs in this region will be eliminated, along with about 200 contract positions. The impacted positions are in various locations along the UP system, and it also condensed the operating regions from east, south, and west, south and north to south and north, and it is likely to be the start of many job cuts as we head into the 2020 year. So
We're actually heading.
Well,
into
you know where they
2019,
could
but-
find work after their job cuts? TriMed, because they're building a corridor to Tigard. Southwest corridor.
well, hopefully that corridor makes money, just like Union Pacific is. Union Pacific is the railroad reportedly earned quarter earnings of $1.59 billion, or $2.15 per share, which is not a lot of money, but whatever. The industry analysts polled were expecting per share earnings of $202.09, and revenue was $5.93 billion in the period, which beat forecasts, and they have risen 5%, and shares have risen 5% since the beginning of this year.
So they're doing
This is
well,
some
but they're
railroading.
laying people off. Anyway.
Yeah.
Great. Good job. Way to stimulate that economy. Stimulate it.
Well, you know what else stimulates the economy? When your port actually uses their railroad, like Coos Bay does. They recently changed hands. Their railroad was operated by a contract company, and now it's operated by the port themselves.
Cool.
And they got a few new engines. They got an SW1500, and they got a GMD1. Like, it's really cool.
Oh, is that the
It's a-
weird, like, Canadian thing?
Yes.
Yeah, they are weird.
You were behind one on the Oregon Pacific when you were there, probably.
I rode in the cab.
Oh!
Yeah,
Oh,
So now there's two of them running. But anyways, should be... I don't know. I think it's better for the port to run their own railroad with their own stuff. So,
Cool.
I'm not even mad.
And if you really want to stimulate your economy, you get yourself a train station. Like Stuart, Florida, has picked 3 possible locations for their new Brightline station.
Ooh.
So,
make sure it doesn't hit anyone.
yeah, make sure it doesn't hit anyone, and the FRA is here to do just that. The FRA is about to launch a safety initiative, hopefully directed at Florida Man, because they need to stop being on the track. It's to, specifically about trespasser and grade crossing deaths.
Yeah.
Although things are better than they once were. In the 1970s, they were,
Worse.
about 200,000 grade crossing
Oh.
deaths. Today, they're about half that. And and fatalities in general.
What year was the initial one?
No, hold on. I misread things. There were originally about 10,000 to 12,000 deaths at 200,000 grade crossings across the U.S. Now,
And what year was that?
that was in the 70s. Now there are about 100,000 grade crossings, but fatalities have dropped not by half, as you might expect, but to a fifth of what they were. So, but, they're all preventable, of course. Nobody should be on the tracks when a train is coming. And they're going to try to, get the word out there to not do that. If only they had some sort of, old campaign that was about that they could revive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I want to.
Hmm.
Seriously, what the hell happened to Operation
Don't
Ice
do
Saber?
it.
It's still
Operation
around.
Lightsaber.
I see them every year at Steam Up.
Yeah, they're still around. They just don't do as much.
Do more.
Why?
You know what else to do more? The Washington Park Shoe Railway, which is currently severed from the rest of the trackers. Which there's a fundraiser for rebuilding their trackers back to Washington Park. So that way it can actually be the Washington Park Shoe Railway instead of just a shoe railway.
Now they should turn it into a bike path. That's what they do these days.
Tear 'em up,
Which,
turn 'em, go.
Tear them up, turn them into trails.
Let's speak of that. Unfortunately, a while back, the Indiana Railroad Museum, or Transportation Museum, rather, got their line converted and got kicked off of the city's property. And it was a whole fiasco, and a whole bunch of things got scrapped. But the silver lining is that a whole bunch of things also got saved. And 4 things that got saved were trolley equipment. And they were saved by a group of people that formed in the midst of all this that purchased these cars. One, I believe, is a Brill Master unit, I want to say. And the other 2 are interurban cars from the Indiana Union Traction Company. And there's the Terre Haute in Indianapolis and Eastern. That's a handful right there. Interurban car. And then Indianapolis street rail. In fact, the Brill Master unit was within minutes of being demolished when the organization secretary stepped between the car and a backhoe. That was going to begin the demolition.
Yeah, and
With the
then they
paperwork-
demolished her and the car.
Well,
Rest in
him.
peace.
The secretary is the guy.
Rest in peace, guy.
Oh my!
Speaking of smashing things out,
And they also have a fundraiser.
UP really is smashing out updates on 4014. Just on October 31st, so on Spoopy Day, Union Pacific released an update on the Big Boy. Now, as it sounds,
You might
the
have
Big
heard of
Boy.
Ascension.
You might have heard of the Big
What the hell
Boy.
is a big boy?
If you don't know, what
Don't
Big
you mean the
Boy-
Alco 4000 crap?
If you don't know what Big Boy is a 4884 type locomotive. Just kidding.
Built by all the locomotive works in
Built by Alco Locomotive Works in 19
No, you have to get it wrong.
in 1924.
And
Built
also it
by
can drive on
Lima
ice.
Built by Lima Locomotive Works in 1984.
Built by Tang Shen in 1984.
But it seems like it's going along pretty well. They did some. They had to do some new castings for stuff. They had to basically redo a lot of the drive chassis and that sort of thing. I just don't know what to call it.
It's a
Chassis was the first
yeah.
thing in my mind.
There's stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff's gotten done recently. It's coming along quite well, and will most likely, well, not most likely, it will be done by the deadline. So
They're under pressure.
I'm hyped.
Doom.
Yeah, indeed.
Dum-dum-dum-dum.
But anyways, they're making good progress on that. They really are.
There's a Shea under
That's what
pressure
happens when you
at the
have no
IRM.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Number
that's
5. Which is one of the first, random places to have a Shea. You wouldn't think that they would have or want to use a Shea at the IRM, but they have it,
They can go
and
slow.
they're using it, so more power to them.
When you get enough engines together and enough people, you can do anything.
Well, yeah. Also, they
And enough
raised the
cash.
boiler pressure from 160 to 190 psi.
You can do that.
Shea number 5 was built by Lima Locomotive Works in 1929 and operated in the Pacific Northwest. It's the only geared steam locomotive at IRM. Take notes, Steamtown. And it operated back in 1966, and so it'll be in train service next year, supplementing Frisco 1630. So yeah, Shea 5. Go see Shea's. Cass has Shea's, and now IRM does too.
Yep.
What doesn't IRM have? That's the better question.
Nothing. The only thing they don't have is a cog engine.
The
A soul,
CNW
because they
twins,
sold it
that's
to the
what they
devil
don't
to have a successful museum.
I could that and narrow gauge. They don't have any narrow gauge.
Okay, good.
Suppose they don't.
Yeah.
You know who else is getting good? Those same folks that saved the interurban cars because they got fundraiser. Go fundraise.
Chris, I'm disappointed you missed the opportunity to make a narrow gauge segue because you have SP18 sitting right there.
God damn it! Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, come on.
Oh my god.
All right, let's talk about SP18.
Speaking of narrow gauge, Southern Pacific 18, it was announced a few weeks ago that it would be going to Durango, Colorado.
And then everyone
On
beat
the
their meat
DNS.
over it, including
Working the DNS to help train the crews for oil firing. And as of this, it is there. It has arrived in Durango, and it will be there until I think about June or so.
February. I think.
I've heard June and February. It'll be there for a little while.
Yeah, they're gonna have some fun with it.
But they're currently right now, this is something I don't think anyone had ever thought they'd ever be able to say. There is a Southern Pacific locomotive in the Durango Roundhouse.
You know what's ironic? Because they built the Farmington branch to stop the SP or Santa Fe from going into Durango. So
Yes, but it's weird to say there's a Southern Pacific locomotive in
that's
Durango.
narrow gauge in Durango.
Yeah, it's just
It's weird.
oh well.
Anyway, go foam
It's
it.
weird. Yes, but it will be running the Cascade trains in December, and that's about all it'll be doing. So.
Nice.
It's
Yeah.
not all that strong, is it?
No, it's a 460, but they don't. The Cascade trains are like 2-3 cars anyway. So
Yeah.
So I thought it was a consolidation for some reason.
no, the other one
There's a
Consolidate.
similar engine on the same railroad that's just consolidated.
9 is the consolidation.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so yay, SB18.
Yay, SP18.
Another SP engine was out and about. I'm stealing TJ's news because he hasn't talked about it in a while. SP 745, which is, I think, the state steam locomotive of Louisiana, about a week ago did a freight trip. So that's pretty cool.
No, it wasn't a week ago. They didn't do that a week ago.
Oh, they did?
No, I don't think they did.
I thought they did.
When did they not do it?
When did they not do it?
It was October 22nd. It was like... It was a week
Okay.
ago.
May 10th.
It was
20
sorry,
that's
no,
the
it
May
was
10th.
it was 2 weeks ago. It was a week and a half ago, or it was
No, I don't.
No,
I
it
don't
happened.
think,
So,
hold on. October 2nd. It's finally going to happen. I
and
don't
then they
think.
got posted.
it happened at some point hypothetically.
Yeah, it has. Hold on, wait a minute. Yes, it has been postponed as of October 4th.
Rest in peace. Anyway,
Give me steam.
yeah. Anyway, let's check out something a little bit different. We've talked a lot about trains. Let's talk a little bit about stations. So I talked about how they were turning the Michigan Central Station into a little haunted house thing for Halloween. Now, Ford, who bought the station, got a $100 million tax break because
Wow.
presumably there were huge back taxes on the station, and Detroit signed off on $104 million. Basically, you don't have to pay back all these back taxes from when you didn't own the station. Or no, it's a relief over the next 35 years. So it's not like a here you go. It's over the
It
next
was
35
a free
years.
handout.
There will be a total of a lot of stuff. But that hangs on the idea that they were going to add 2,500 jobs and also revitalize the station, which they started with this little fun attraction. So it was less of a haunted house, more of a lot of cool lights and activities for kids. But, some, I guess you could call it quasi trick-or-treating, pumpkin carving, that sort of thing. Dances, spooky music.
Spoopy.
Yeah. Some fun stuff, I wish I could have been. The interior is a great set for this kind of thing right now. And hopefully it'll become less of a set like that. Hopefully it'll become a little better. Maybe someday trains will return to the Michigan Central Station, but until then, Ford is going to be pimping the place out, hopefully. Oops, I just hit page down instead of end. Nope, I hit it again.
Would I?
Oh wait, no, it's just acting screwy on me. So yeah, that's the station. And then in Chicago, there are some huge dealings going on at Chicago Union Station. Some pretty hefty plans, if I recall correctly. Some fat development plans. So they're going to be redeveloping the entrance, and they're going to be topped with a new addition, which is going to have 2 hotels. And it's a 1.5 million square foot, 50-story office tower, and
wait a minute.
1.5 acre public
Like-
park
like
on land
On
south
top?
of the station that's now occupied by a parking garage. So they're going to be building up the area around the station. They're going to be opening a new entrance on Clinton Street, and which will improve access to the food court and retail spaces. And the thing with the hotels is there are upper stories to the building that are not currently used. And there's currently a lot of work going on inside. There were plans to build a addition on top of the building, but those were shelved, and instead they're going to get a major renovation of the top 4 floors of the head house and a 9th-story penthouse addition. So that's about 400 hotel rooms that are going to be in the station. Now that makes me really happy, because you think about back in the day, it was always you'd pair and if you ever played Railroad Tycoon, you would always pair your nice big stations with a nice fat hotel.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's really nice. One of the things that was really sort of difficult after crossing the country as well, over on the Amtrak with Madison was, where are we going to get a hotel? And then we have to get to it from the station, then we have to get back to the station.
Yeah.
I miss those days. And in Chicago, which is so effectively a meeting point of so many Amtrak routes, it's the ideal place to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're not going to be building that big ugly addition, but they're going to be building a bunch of things near the station, in the station.
Good. Like Amazon Smile is a thing that allows you, when you're buying stuff on Amazon, a small percentage of what you pay goes towards a nonprofit. So for 1 week, for about 5 days a year, it's effectively times by 10.
Mm-hmm.
And the museum did that. So. And that's what helped the Boston cars get up quite a bit.
So if you use this Amazon link, you will get money.
Yeah.
Use the Amazon link, and they'll get money.
Yeah, pretty much.
You just have to enter mommy's credit card number,
Yeah.
the expiration date, and the 3 mysterious numbers on the back.
Yeah. And you know who
I'm
could
gonna
probably
say-
use that information? CN, by the looks. Because they had a performance drop, which is weird, because it's on the back of a record volume for them. So you have these 2 articles which back-to-back are really quite perplexing, and I haven't been able to pull them apart yet. But they've been adding some serious capacity expansion projects, track locomotives and crews and all that. Basically, get a job on CN right now. CN set 10 single-day records for gross ton miles handled between Edmonton and Winnipeg, and average train speed on the corridor increased 7%.
So then how is their performance dropping?
I don't know.
That's
No.
Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. Operating ratios weakened is basically what happened. Because they're spending so much money on their things, including fuel costs, but mostly on their huge capital projects. The books are looking a little bit less black than they could be. But, that said, if they're really setting these records and they're, really shipping all this stuff, once those projects are done, you should see a pretty nice rise in what's going on with Canadian National. And, as a bonus, they have the mantle. So, everything's on the up and up for CN.
Except for this Canadian one-way train.
Was that CN?
Multi-cupper.
No, it was not.
Oh, wait, never mind. It was the odd train that is probably one of the most controversial things ever.
Oh, why is
Because they shut down the railroad after this.
Oh, this is up, like,
It's up in BC.
Yeah, this is the Englewood Railway. I was researching these guys a little while ago.
They were the last jogging railroad, by definition, in North America.
Was this the one that got this now the tourist railroad?
No.
No.
Ah.
No, that was the last one in the U.S. This is in Canada.
Oh, I thought this was in.
Yeah, this is on Vancouver Island. It's on the north of Vancouver Island.
Yeah, it's somewhere around.
And they had a runaway train. So there was faulty coupling, and log cars rolled away down the hill towards the maintenance crew. The failsafe should have been the derailleur, which would have interrupted the cars and pushed them off the tracks, but the train hit the derailleur, and it just knocked the derailleur aside because it had been nailed into rotted ties. They crashed into a speeder and a backhoe, which there were 5 people in total, 4 in the speeder, 1 in the backhoe, and they went downhill for another 1.5 kilometers before they derailed and they crashed. 2 of the men in the speeder and the backhoe operator were killed, and they they're yet to release this report. This was sometime last year, and then the railroad was shut down after this happened. So
this is just a follow-up to that.
This is just a follow-up. Yeah, this is not breaking news by any means. But A, it's just weird to hear about a runaway train in this day and age, and B, it's monumental it's momentous because it shut down the last logging railroad, and like momentous in a bad way. And one of the 2 surviving railways on Vancouver Island as well, which surviving big asterisk there. Anyway,
They weren't doing too much, but
anyway,
that's right. Man got arrested on the Coast Star and got taken off.
Was he trying to rob it?
You're crazy. Nobody robs trains anymore.
He put a female railway employee in the chokehold while demanding to get off the train.
Well, he got off the train, all right.
Okay, we'll stop the train. Yeah, guess what?
Cops.
Well, on the note of getting back onto something, Dennis is getting on the hype train for precision scheduled railroading. They announced the other day that they will be following in CSX's UP and UP's footsteps, and will be implementing aspects of precision scheduled railroading, and the details of which will be unveiled at Class 1's Investor Day in Atlanta in February of next year.
Well, when is it going to be expressed to the Class 2 railroads, like the ones that G&W owns?
G&W is showing concern.
Yeah. Because it might be a little bit. It may be a little bit
for them.
shady.
Yeah, it might be a little bit shaky for them to, operate with their connecting railroads running precision scheduled railroading. I'm sure they'll adapt to it, but that, could be tricky, especially if they're running a particularly tight schedule and these Class 2s are, not. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It'd be interesting to see that. And I can see where they're coming from with the concern.
Yeah.
If I was the short line, I would be really concerned as well.
Anyway, we talked about Canadian Railways for a second, and Jader stole the piece of news that I wanted. Which was, and I think did he fall asleep? Did Jader?
No.
You stole my news.
Yeah, trains returned to Churchill, Manitoba for the first time since May
A happy
2017.
ending to this Wausau storm.
Now I want to go
But
there.
do you know what won't
Wait.
be a happy ending for?
Wait, question.
What?
Did we cover like earlier this year or last year? Wait,
Echo.
Echo.
Yes.
For God's sake. But I saw that, I read this thing
There we
that they had a VA passenger train up there that was stranded,
Really?
and they, brought in like barges and shit to,
Wow.
extract it.
Really? I hadn't heard that part of the story.
I need to find it.
Well,
That's like the storm of 1952 now.
yeah. Except it's
I'll
very
hit up my
different
Canadian friends and
because
see
they
if they know anything about it.
you're literally stranded on that side of massive washouts. For those who haven't really followed along,
Okay,
the whole
the storm McCormick's F7.
yeah. If you weren't following along with the whole story, up way in the north of Canada, Manitoba, there's a little town of Churchill, which is like 1,000 people, and the only way in there is by train. And last year, the track washed out, and then the Canadian government was involved in a protracted legal battle to get somebody to fix the track, because nobody wanted to. And so it's a tiny town in the middle of nowhere where people live for some ungodly reason. And they started out with 1,000 people, now they're down to 900 people because a bunch of people left. They get out via plane. It's the only way in and out. And it was difficult to get them to get supplies and stuff up there during that stretch of time. But hopefully the train's back. The train's gonna stay.
Yeah.
I'm so glad the train is back because I was worried it was gonna be one of those. Well, it washed out and then it was gone, eh?
Yeah.
It never came back. But now I need to go. Now I want to go. I want to go back there. I want to go up to Churchill.
No.
Maybe in the summer.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe not right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Anything else real important that we think is real important?
That's announced for Santa trains, but that's about it. There's nothing new.
Oh boy,
nothing
Santa
new.
trains.
Yep.
Yeah.
December 1st and 2nd, 10:30, 1, and 3:30.
Also, if you've got a private
Right.
car, there's some new
Station.
rules. I haven't looked at it yet. We'll talk about it next time.
Speaking of Christmas trains,
Uh-oh.
Hocking Valley is doing their Santa trains every weekend in December. Yeah, every weekend in December, starting right after Thanksgiving. And ORM, we are doing Letters to Santa. Dates will be announced sometime in the next few weeks.
Oh, I have one quick thing. Yesterday, and there's no article. This is just something that happened. Yesterday, the amid some of the controversy within the restoration project, the 223 tender was brought out of the shops, being complete, and complete in the manufacturing part of things, and was sandblasted and is going to be getting ready to be painted in the next few weeks.
What about the decking?
They're going to be doing the decking when they apply the. And then they got to work on the boiler.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, I hope they can continue with their work.
I hope they can too.
Yeah.
I would want to see that engine fixed up because it's probably the one in the second best condition, arguably speaking. I'm sure that some hardcore real grandparents should have a debate on that.
Yeah, you're lucky Weibel isn't here.
Yeah.
Because he'd go off on it,
Yeah.
like he always does.
223.
Where are they going to run it?
That
Doesn't
is
make
my
any
question.
sense.
What's going to do with it?
They don't know what they're going to do with it when they're done, but they're dedicated to getting it done. They want to get it done. They want to bring it back to life.
Good on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Have train will travel.
yeah.
That's what you're going to have to do.
They might send it down to the. They might even build their own thing. They might send it down to the DNS for a while. Depends.
They're gonna send it to the Colorado Railroad Museum.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so if we're gonna talk about
But
trains,
they're still doing good work.
What is the latest train on Amtrak, guys?
yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Oh yeah.
If we're all wrapped
It
up
looks
there.
like it's train number
That's all I got.
57.
I'm
I can
good.
talk about what I
The
got. to talk about.
Vermonter.
I'm going to guess. Oh wait, never mind. We're not done.
No, we're done.
We are done.
We are
I
done.
said I could talk about it next time.
Yeah, it looks like the latest train on Amtrak is the Vermonter.
And
And-
Joe's forgot how to do this.
You
I don't know how to
You-
do
You
that.
fucking dick.
give him a point.
Remember that time?
Yeah,
remember
give
the
them a
last time
point.
you were on here and you tried to cheat by looking at the map ahead of time, and then, so we avoided your
Oh,
guess.
I didn't know you weren't supposed to look at the map.
You
Well,
chum.
Did you, last time when we, when you tried to cheat
I
by looking at
forgot.
the map and we said don't
I
do that,
forgot.
and
Yep.
so now you just look it
I
up and you spoil it
forget.
for everyone, so nobody gets to take the guess. Nobody gets to guess
Mm.
and then find out who's right.
Don't sigh, Jader. I haven't done this in a while. I don't remember.
And I specifically didn't mention it throughout the podcast so that you wouldn't think about it and then look at the map and then cheat.
I'm sorry. God.
And I was actually kind of excited for the one today because it's never the Vermonter. It's kind of out of left field. Alright, let's do the second latest train on Amtrak.
Okay.
Crescent.
Which way?
North.
Okay. Jader?
I'm gonna go out on a limb. The northbound Ethan Allen.
Ooh, interesting.
That's a little random.
It's a little random. Alright, Milky?
The Capital Limited going north, I believe.
Limited going north.
I think
Alright.
that's an east-west train.
What? Whatever, it's
I think-
to Chicago or to Washington.
That's why it said I believe.
North
because I
question
wasn't
mark.
quite
It
sure.
doesn't matter. It's alright, so the Capital Limited to Chicago is 1 hour and 22 minutes late.
Okay.
The Crescent, the northbound Crescent, is
Yes.
52 minutes late.
Oh shit.
The
What's the southbound?
Ethan Allen. Where's the Ethan Allen? I'm not sure the Ethan Allen is out right now. I think the Ethan Allen's done for the day.
I think it's like tri-weekly.
It's definitely not.
Is it not
But
tri-weekly?
But it doesn't run that far. It just goes from New York City to Rutland, so it doesn't go.
Yeah.
It doesn't go that
Well, then
far.
what is it?
It's not on the map right now,
Oh,
so it's not running right now. The second latest
Oh,
train on
wow.
Amtrak, at a glance, as long as let me check these other red ones just to make sure. But I think that Chris was close.
It was the southbound. God damn it.
The Crescent to New Orleans is 2 hours and 32 minutes late. The interesting thing about this week's, again, not only due to the fact that it's the Vermonter, which was unknown all the way from St. Albans until it hit Springfield, which is bizarre, is the latest train on Amtrak, and it's the only train on Amtrak more than 3 hours late.
Huh.
So,
really?
I apologize for forgetting.
weird
It's my
day on-
fault.
hashtag weird day on Amtrak.
I apologize for forgetting.
Yeah, well, quit cheating. At least this
Stop
time you
forgetting.
were honest about your cheating.
I forgot how it worked. I apologize.
Well, you'll remember next time. And then next time, maybe you'll pick a locomotive versus that won't get you murdered.
Yes.
Or maybe
That might
I
be a good
will.
idea.
Or maybe
Okay.
Milky
Yeah,
won't
what's
get
my
murdered.
best podcast?
The goal of this the moral of this podcast is don't be O'Gillies.
There's our title. Don't be O'Gilly.
No, actually, I have a better title.
Okay.
I have a better title. I'll discuss it when we're wrapped up. If you guys think that's better, though, I'll be for it. Anyway, let's terminate.
I'd like to
Yes, please.
wish anybody working on a scenic railroad in the coming days a easygoing and not that stressful. Polar.
Thank you. We appreciate
Thank you.
your sentiment.
Your sediment?
40th day forward.
Thanks for the sediment.
Oh,
Jader.
that's my termination. Fuck it.
Jader,
What?
what's your termination?
Why am I first? Oh wait.
You're second.
You're not
I'm the-
first.
You're chum.
Oh, okay. Bliet. Buy my Bitcoin.
Jader's a Russian bot. He needs to be removed.
You're chum.
Milky.
You're chum.
Okay. My termination is Bones! We're Thunder Bones!
We appreciate your sentiment.
And Chris.
In response to a Joey's termination, we appreciate your sentiment.
Thanks. Anyway, we hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good time.